All right, welcome back. This is Spring Trends on Western Spring Television, and this is where we talk about everything trending on social media, from politics to business to social issues, and of course, entertainment. My name is Evelyn Ohiola, and I have with me my analyst in the studio.
Femi Ojo is my name.
Allow me to introduce you now.
Thank you.
You could not wait.
Don't let me stress you.
All right, welcome to the very first day of the week.
Yeah,
very first working day of the week.
That's right. You know, after the weekend, the hustle and bustle of the weekend, the rest, and then we are back to do what we do best.
By the way, I like this your jacket. It's giving what it's given.
It's giving, right?
The Gen Z will say it's jacketing. Your jacket is jacketing.
Thank you.
All right, please pardon me for my voice. Definitely, it will get better. Okay, on what's trending for this morning, we go with our very first story. And this story is what happened in Lagos State between the #1 person, Governor Babajide Sanwo Olu, and a soldier. You know, we saw that video and people actually talking about it. But this has actually generated controversy on how the governor handled the situation, getting the soldier arrested. Let's watch this video and we'll come back to take some reactions.
Àwọn táàtù tó ń lò nígboro Èkó tó ń da Èkó rú, they destroy Lagos. Who arrest wọn? Who arrest wọn rárá? Sójà ló ń arrest and you ló ń káká sókè. Kí ló dé? You should be ashamed of yourself, Sanwo Olu. But let me remind you, your 4 years will soon be finished now. Do whatever you like. Torment people of Lagos State. Where's my own governor today? Where's Akeredolu today? You should be ashamed of yourself, Sanwo Olu. You should be ashamed of yourself. Nigerian soldiers are all over the world. We are in UN. We are everywhere. We're serving the nation to make the country proud. People die in Sambisa Forest. People die in Bronu. People die in Plateau. Everywhere, soldiers are being killed. And the same soldier, I don't blame you at all. If a dirty, bloody civilian like you, because you are chief executive of a state, you are above the law yourself. How many times have you gone through the wrong way? How many times have you gone through the wrong way in Lagos? So you are above the law, right? A young soldier. Check him. He has been shot here. He has an iron. Look at the boy you love. He has an iron in his hand. He has been under my command before. He's just a young soldier. And you make the life that the whole world is about to crack. Nobody's afraid of you. He locked me, we release him, right? Stupid governor like you. Ori eti daru, Sanwo Olu. Ori eti daru. Oju ma turari lojo.
All right, those were so harsh words used on the numero uno, the #1 citizen of Lagos State, the #1 citizen of the commercial capital of Nigeria, Governor Babajide Sanwo Olu, by that soldier. And actually, that is the third soldier I will be watching come for the governor for his action against that young soldier. And of course, there are people that say that this young soldier was not even dressed in his uniform. So the outburst may not really be justified. But then we also have people saying how the governor went about it was definitely not the right way. He could have done better. But then let's go to social media platform X and see what Nigerians are saying about the situation. We have at Bashiru Mustafa say, this army captain gave Governor Sanwo Olu of Lagos State water for the aggressive and foul language he was using against the soldier that was caught on a Okada transport as they were driving in the wrong direction. The man wasn't happy at the way Sanwo Olu handled the situation at all. And next is at Controller 007. He says, I was angry at this soldier's outburst for disrespecting the #1 citizen of a state until I found a video of the governor breaking the same law he accosted the soldier for. Very quickly at Mr. Classic_, says, in Lagos State, any government car with siren is automatically entitled to one way. He is not even capping. And the last reaction for today I'll be looking at is at Lopo Sky. It says, I know of few people that have had accidents on that road. As soldiers above everyone, Sanwo Olu's only crime was calling the guy useless. He is the #1 in Lagos and can arrest anyone. Famiojo, your take.
Right. You know, I take it from the last tweet that you took that I feel in the whole of this fiasco that calling that guy useless boy, I think that was the only thing. For me, that's my personal opinion. Because Sanwo Olu is the governor of Lagos State. He has a state to run. And the fact that, okay, maybe government functionaries at times to run foul of the laws they are trying to keep, which is very wrong, by the way. You know, it's not a basis to say...
You don't share the opinion of the other person that said a government official who has a siren on has the right to actually take
I don't live in Lagos, but then he said he saw a video. He has to provide a video. People say a lot of things whenever these situations is concerned. Have you seen someone do that? Is there proof to say someone is doing that? And you looking at the video, the governor was coming from a function, and then he saw people moving one way, and then he stopped them. Some of them ran away, and this guy came. He was accosted, and the guy was saying, "I'm a soldier." In fact, left to me. What do you mean by saying you are a soldier? So you should mean you should be left? The fact that the guy even said, I'm a soldier, that means he was looking for preferential treatment to say, I'm a person of the law, so you should not handle me this way. How do you mean? You are still a citizen. If actually you are a law keeper, you're a soldier yourself, you keep to the tenets of the law, you shouldn't be going on a runway. By the way, it was a mufti. So are we sure he's even actually a soldier? Anybody can say that to just get off the hook. The governor, you know him, that is Sanwo Olu. I say, oh, I'm a soldier. What's the import of that word? Let's interrogate that. So because you're a soldier, you should not be rough-handled. Is that what you're saying? And by the people that have been making outbursts, there was a young soldier who used all kind of language, by the way, an acclaimed soldier. And this older man that we just took the video, what kind of language he used? How is it better than the person who was trying to... Me, personally, I think that was so wrong. To say because people, Nigerian soldiers have fought in Sambisa, they have done United Nations peacekeeping missions, they've been shot at, so that's the reason they should come back and then throw caution into the wind, and everybody will be moving mad. Is that the way it works? And this gives credence to the way so many uniform do. You know, I was in a very okay, let me just say it like this, in a meeting with the men of the Nigerian army few months back, and I had to ask them this question: why do you people feel entitled to everything? They come to a queue and they don't want to line up, they don't want to queue, they just come through the ATM. We know you guys have a work to do, we respect you, but how about you just queuing and we will call you and say, because for me personally, and I'm saying the truth, I can't see an army man queue behind me and I won't say, guys, please come and use the ATM, because maybe they have something to do. But don't just come down from your car and the next thing is the point, you ignore others, and the way you do.
Well, we have to.
So that's yes, that sense of entitlement is there to say because the boy has been shot at, he has an iron in his hand, so he should be moving mad on the Nigerian road. That is very wrong. But for the governor calling that guy a useless boy, I think it was wrong as well. But Sanwo Olu has a state to run.
And also, do you think the way he was accosted, the way he was manhandled, wasn't right? I mean, the way the governor's aides and his security men actually handled that.
He was being arrested. How do you arrest people?
He said he is a soldier. Don't you think that could have allowed the governor, okay, you guys...
Was he on a state function?
I do not
Was
have
he on uniform? I could have said I'm a soldier as well. If you're a soldier, don't run. You're on a bike.
Now, there was a particular statement made by one of the soldiers that when you need us for your dirty jobs, you call on us.
Then that's an extracurricular activity that should be probed, actually, because many persons are not still convinced on what happened during the NSAS, because it's these same soldiers who are there. So if it's the time that, you know, kettles of fish will be released and, you know, even Nigerians would like to hear if actually what happened, if there has been some covering, and this is the time for anybody involved to speak up. But as far as keeping law is concerned, we have a state to run.
We have a state to run. we move to our next story, story number 2. And this is about the recent probe. We're having probes here and there.
Yeah.
And this one we are about to focus on is about the 44 billion naira, by the NSIPA boss, Halima Shehu. It says that she confessed to removing 44 billion naira from the government account in 5 days. However, she said it was an error.
Oh.
It was something she didn't do deliberately or intentionally. I mean, sometimes you just want to do something and your mind is somewhere else and you don't know when you just punch 44 billion naira and voila, it leaves the account. I mean, it happens, right, Femi? Wasn't it?
44 billion naira
but then,
by mistake.
We've had this NSIPA boss. That's the National Social Investment Project Agency. Yeah. We also have Minister Better doing the eye on the storm at this time, paying over 500 million naira to a private account. So let's just take up reactions as of the time, what Nigerians are saying.
That's right.
At Benny 7GG says, EFCC reveals that Halima Shehu confesses to removing 44 billion naira from the government account in just 5 days, saying it was all an error. How do you even say moving such a large amount of money was an error? What a country. And the next reaction is at Clem Agege. I hope I get that correct. Any person that has the capacity to erroneously make such payment of 44 billion naira is not fit for that job. How soon is the 39.8 billion naira retrieved by EFCC getting to the approved recipients in the midst of such wrongdoings? And at Mansa_Musa says, assuming she was not caught, she won't call it a mistake. She won't even know it is a mistake. And at Cyrus Ademola, this statement makes it all for me.
This
it says,
is the tweet.
44 billion naira error. That's cute.
How cute.
Very
by
short,
the
precise,
most cute thing you've ever heard this year. 44, we've said it on previous program, just few billions here and there. And yeah, these are the issues. 44 billion naira. The thing is, according to what you know about banking, for you to even for any bank to authorize 44 billion naira, it takes a process, especially by an individual who make the money to go through. Is it the CBN who did that? 44 billion naira. Number one question: for what purpose was it meant for? Was due process followed? And 44 billion naira worth of error, did she find out? Did she come to the public to say, oh, I made this, all this, because it was found out that you are not talking about error? I think, just like Barrister Femi Falana said on a program at the weekend, this guy should stop insulting Nigerians. This is insulting, really, to our common intelligence.
But what's up with this ministry? We had Sadiya Farouk still on the probe. Halima Shehu on the probe, Minister Better on the probe. And this is a ministry that takes care of they call them the poorest of the poor. And we talk about the money trickling down to the
poverty
people
alleviation
that actually needs it.
Yeah, it speaks to the kind of money in that ministry and how they do things not rightly, definitely. Because you can see these kind of persons, that doesn't mean other ministries are not doing the same. Maybe it's their own now then they blow for now. And they are not blowing for the right reasons.
I like the way you put it, now then they blow.
Of course, because of the billions that are involved in these. But these women, everybody involved in these, the better I do own was about, authorizing money into private accounts. Who does that, by the way? Can you even do that? She raised a memo and sent it, and then these things were done, and that is not to be done at all. So, Aja, 44 billion worth of error, that's really cute, really.
All right, we move to our next story, and this is about the man of the moment. Minister Wike is the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, FCT. And of course, we have the old tussle in that state. Talk about River State between him and Sim Fubara. Okay, the very first comment I'm going to, take on the show this morning, we actually had are a video of one person who, a chieftain of the PDP, right, who actually had a fallout with Sanwo Olu because they had to pick a side. Some went with Minister Wike, and others went with Simfubara, saying that they actually were the ones that wrote results for the APC because, you know, the LP cleared almost all these things, you know, even the House of Assembly, State House of Assembly, they wrote the result because most of the seats were cleared by the Labour Party. So I'm going to take comments, reactions with that. It says, Justin at Oji_Ugo_ says, Justin, the Labour Party swept election in Rivers. We wrote results for PDP and Ohunwo. If Nigeria had institutions, Wike, this Ohunwo, and everyone involved in rigging elections should be in jail. And at Ike God_ says, trending video that Wike and his estranged political godson scandalously and brazenly wrote the results of the February 25th, 2023 presidential and National Assembly elections, as well as the March 18 governorship and state assembly elections in Rivers State, don't come as a rude shock to long-term political watchers like us. When at Governor Wike and also INEC Chairman Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, among other perpetrators, will be held accountable by Nigeria's intelligence and security agencies such as the DSS, EFCC, and ICPC Nigeria remains. Okay, so we are going to have that. We move on to the next comment, which is at Mr. Baba Ken. It says, the election, now we write the result. It was Labour Party. I mean, that wasn't much the man said anyways, but trust Nigerians to add 2 + 2 to get 4. They say you are all shameless. 2 or 3 people gathered together to void the vote of the people who out of pain decided to vote their choice. You now have the guts because of sentiments to start explaining y'all are shameless. And my last comment for today says, because they now have differences. Yeah. That's at IAI_Austin. Femi, your take.
All right, my take is, let me start with this literal translation of Yoruba adage that says, a house built by spittle, you know, will be brought down by dew, you know, meaning these things won't stand, it won't last long. And for Mr. Nwo, who is now saying this and singing like a canary about the way, is because the center is no more holding. You know, they had to choose a side to you know, show their allegiance, and that's why he's saying this. How come he has not said this before, by the way? And then he should be interrogated as well. Just like somebody said, every stakeholder in that business should be picked up, you know, to help the security agencies, prosecuting agencies in investigation to say what really happened. And this gives credence to what many persons have been saying about the last election, that there are many flaws. Of course, there is no nation of the earth where you have 100%, you know, kind of credible process like the 100, but there are some critical parts of every election that should not be toyed with. But these guys, by virtue of what we see, what we hear, do things so blatantly like you can do nothing about it. And so for that man to say few persons voided the vote of other persons just because of an actual ambition of some people, we wrote these things. The audacity is quite big for me. And then at this time, it should have been picked up to say, how did you do these things? Who are the people that sent you? It's for us to have a sanitizing, especially if I had to be INEC. In fact, I would do everything within my power to petition the security agencies to get this guy and everybody involved to say, how did you do these things? If actually it's just saying it to dent Wike, we should know, because people say many things as well. To just say, let's paint this person black because we have an ulterior motive. And if actually the person is saying the truth, Nigerians deserve the right to know hundreds of billions of naira, you know, in a kind of way, wasted just because of these few individuals. I think that should not be tolerated at all.
If you actually watch the video, you realize it was some sort of a sleep, because when he made that statement at some point, the music started playing, probably to prompt him to shut up.
Yeah, okay.
You know,
off your mind.
And when he said what he said, and the music came up, he didn't mention anything about that again. So Nigerians want answers. They want this interrogation.
If it's a sleep, we should know
what actually happened that day. And we hope the ICPC, INEC, the DSS are on this matter.
Especially INEC. They should be trusted.
To the bottom of the case. We move to our final story for this morning, and it is good news from here. Someone's life was moved from 0 to 100 just within some hours. You know, we had the story of Debbie on social media platform X, also known as Mommy Z, where, you know, someone was talking about women who wake early enough to make food for their husbands. And she made a statement saying that she wakes up as early as 4:50 a.m. to make lunch for our husband. Deborah Adebisi went viral on Twitter X after replying to a tweet stating she wakes up at 4:50 a.m. to cook for her husband. It took a surprise in turn as she received a bashing and gifts of cash, a car, and others. The tweet featured on the trending situation of the social media platform as users both heavily criticized her and praised her after she explained that she started cooking for her spouse after a colleague brought food for him at his workplace. And I think she should be saying thank you to this colleague, because without her, she wouldn't have gotten what she's getting today. Let's take these reactions on social media. X Nigeria Stories says, for days now that Z and Debbie, also known as Mommy Z, have received so many gifts from Nigerians and brands. This goes to tell you that Nigerians are amazing people and we love each other. God bless Nigerians. And at Just King says, Mommy Z is a house and a landowner without paying a dime. Reza. Okay, and I am McAfee's says it's a letter to donors. Says, dear donors, there are many more of Mommy Z and Daddy Z in Nigeria. Extend the goodwill gestures to them as well. Many thanks, kind regards, Boda Afi.
I like that tone. Boda Afi.
Femi, what is your take on this matter?
It speaks to the beauty of family, by the way. Do everything that you have to do to take care of your family. And the family plays a place of sacrifice, actually, making sure that your people are good, even if you have to go
the extra mile
to achieve that. And it's not just about Mommy Z or Mommy Z, the way we want to say it now. There are many women doing fantastically well who possibly have not been appreciated for what they do before. But if your husband, your children appreciate you, I think that's the first, that's the biggest you can ever have. And I think many persons will not start doing this because of the gift, because you might not be seen. Jesus will return.
When it's your time, it's your time. It seems like
if you wear jersey or you tie wrapper, when God is involved, you go play that match. Now, what's happen? Because it came from a place of bashing. You know, people that are not too disposed to having women go through pains to do some things for men. You know, the people that I'm talking about right now. And they came for her, another person say, it's our family. Peculiarities differs in homes. This is, you know, to that colleague at that man's place of work that usually brings 2 spoons to work to say, one for me, one for you. And the day the man told his wife to say, this is what happened. So innocently, the man feels like, going, before you say,
but really, I don't want to believe something shady wants to happen between the
No, it might not be something shady. It doesn't have to be something shady. The woman might just feel, anybody feeding your husband constantly
will definitely get him at the end.
The attention is there. It might not even getting him like him. It might be the attention will be shared because the guy is already thinking, even if Mommy Z no cook, and somebody at the office
that
place
will cook for me.
And person where they feed you consistently, that's your ears. And you know how these things work from there. Likeness setting, intimacy setting, and the border might be gone at the end of the day. But to say, you know what, let me do what is necessary. And instead of fighting the husband, to say, oh,
I like that.
This is what you do.
I like that.
You might just give ourselves and say, no, I can't share. If this is what will take me to manage my home, to take care of my husband, I'd rather do this. And then the story got to the social media. And there are many persons doing that as well. And they are showing it, and they are not giving gift. That's why I say the place of your home, especially if you appreciate it, is the first gift that will last forever. When your child looks up to you and say, Mommy, good morning, thank you, and your wife looks at you and say, my husband, you are doing well, and you look at your wife and say, babe, you are the best. That's the best thing that you can feel, because anything outside your home is good as well. And then this gift comes in several multinational, including, you know, I said it on a program, the NNPCL gave her a voucher to say, you know what, 200,000 worth of voucher, whatever you want to do with it.
The Nigerian police are looking for what to give her.
Meet that. Give her 2 laptops. And, you know, I think internet worth of...
Yes.
It's a good story.
Amazing.
But not every day we will be seeing people dashing out gifts like this. The question is, what has she done differently? I think there is an extra factor of saying, Madam, now your time.
When it's your time, it is your time. And I love the fact that she actually preferred a solution to the issue without causing a scene. And that is actually applaudable. Congratulations to Mommy Z and to all Mommy Zs out there.
That's right.
Thank you for doing what you do. Thank you for putting family first. Thank you for sacrificing. And that is where
we... And disease as well. Today is Monday, January 8th. Our children have resumed. So every daddy Z there, that you are the MVP. You know how we are feeling at this time.
We have to speak for the men. But then it is what it is, we have to go. We have to go.
So every child that has resumed, or the ones that have resumed earlier, all the best in the time and the session.
Thank you so much, Femi Ojo, for coming on board.
It's my pleasure.
And to you, my darling viewers, for making a date with me on the show Spring Trends. Tomorrow is another time. Until then, have for yourself a very productive day, and grace will definitely find you today.
Thank you.